Academy and Master Results Coach, and we are here today to talk about habits and accountability. And I'm just going to ask her a few questions. Oh, I might have just gone live. I'm getting all my notifications now, so I think it's working. That's great. This is my first time using this program, so I was like, I hope it works. So thank you so much for joining us, Larisa. I really, really appreciate it. I know you're going to share so much value. So why accountability? If we're setting a habit or a goal, why is accountability good as opposed to maybe just making the decision ourselves?
Yeah, I heard it presented to me that accountability is a success insurance policy. And I know that I myself have worked with so many coaches, and whenever I have someone to even report something to, if I have a friend that's going to be there for me, I'm always going to do a little more than if I could get out of it. One of the reasons people succeed with personal, as I'm getting a tickle in my throat right now, we just started talking.
It's all right.
One of the reasons people succeed with personal trainers is that they have someone waiting for them. They have someone that is depending on them, versus if they just join a class or get a gym membership, people aren't waiting for them and they haven't made that commitment to themselves. And so often people are willing to make a commitment to other people more readily than to themselves. So accountability really is a success insurance policy. When you've made a promise to someone and you keep it, that is, they will hold you accountable to the promises you're actually making to yourself. They're going to help hold you to the highest standards. And I think accountability is absolutely key. I know when I started working, I have many coaches, but I have a specific coach just for accountability for me. And it made a world of difference. When we got on a really clear accountability track, our Q4 revenues exceeded Qs 2 and 3. And we didn't do anything magical. It was really simple. However, it was just that diligent and consistent effort.
Yeah. I love that. I know that I really need accountability. I'm not good at being accountable just to myself. So because we do an accountability group with Abundance Academy, obviously, it's really awesome. I'm involved with that in the moment. So why, should we only choose one task? I'm a let's change everything at once kind of person. As you know, that hasn't worked that well for me in the past. So why choose only one thing?
So ultimately, you can only focus on one thing at a time. And so often when we're trying to multitask, right? I think multitasking is something mothers and women tend to attempt to do, to wear it as like a pride of honor. It's like, let's put the badge of multitasking on. I'm a mom, so I can officially multitask. And the more I multitask, oh my goodness, the better I'll be. I'm just going to mute myself for a sec.
It's okay. Oh, poor Larisa. Yeah, I totally agree. Larisa. I feel like I would pride myself on multitasking, but not maybe do anything well. Just do everything kind of average.
And I don't have a cold. I've just literally got a tickle right there in my throat that keeps coming up. But yeah, women really do attempt to multitask. And there's an exercise I've done with clients, and it's from the book Myth of Multitasking. And it's a beautiful exercise, but it actually shows people that with certainty, it's so predictable. You have a 30 to 60% less lower rate of efficiency when you attempt to multitask, because what you're actually doing is you're switch tasking. And even computers can't multitask, but what they can do is they could switch really, really fast. And what we try to do when we're multitasking is do one thing and another thing. And we think we're doing many things at once, but our brain is literally only focusing on one of those things at a time. And so sometimes that takes a lot of energy and effort. Sometimes it's not very effective. You actually get less done than if you practice focusing all of your effort on one thing. And so why one thing, maybe two things to be held accountable for? Because you're busy. you have a life, and if you try to change everything all at once, you're not going to change any of it because it's not going to stick. So what if you find one habit or one thing that's going to make the biggest difference to you, to your entire life, and just focus on that? And other stuff will probably improve along the way. But if you make sure that the one thing that's going to make the biggest difference to your results is happening, and you do that diligently every single day until it's a habit and you don't even think about it, all of a sudden you're going to be so much more effective and so much more profound when it comes to getting the results that you actually want. When it comes to you showing up and getting better and better and better every day. You can't get better at everything, but if you get better at one thing and get just a little bit better at that one thing every single day, it makes a world of difference. If you literally got 1% better every day for a whole year, you'd be 3,700% better by the end of the year. Just making a 1% improvement a day. And so what if you took that one habit, that one thing you were doing, and you made that one thing 1% better every day? Maybe it's running. Okay, well, I'm gonna run, and today I'm going to think about how my feet are being placed on the concrete, and I'm gonna have a better gait in my running. Next day, I'm gonna focus on the shoes. I'm gonna go source the best pair of running shoes for my running so I could be more effective and have really great equipment. I'm going to look at nutrition. Maybe you might even do these things for a week or whatever it is. I'm going to look at nutrition, and I'm going to look at how my water consumption throughout the day impacts my running. If I increase my water consumption, how do I feel when I run? If I maybe stop drinking half an hour before I run, what's it going to do for me? Right? So little tiny things. And when you're improving something and you get 1% better at that one thing every single day and do it diligently, you're going to be on top of the world. You're going to get yourself to expert status, and it's just going to be so natural and so easy. And people will be like, wow, why is that so easy for you? Well, you've practiced.
Yeah. I guess that brings me into my next question quite nicely. So, like, why every day? Like, could we do 5 days a week or 6 days? Or, like, would you recommend doing it like every single day for a period of time? And if so, why?
And I think, I mean, it's really going to be a personal choice. I would recommend 7 days a week. If it's a business task and you literally have a 5-day work week and you want to clock out for the weekend, then do the 5-day commitment. However, if it's a personal task, if it's something health related or mindset related, and even some business tasks, right? For some people, planning their day and planning their week, even on weekends, should be done. However, you might plan a different flow for your weekend if you're not working. However, for some people, just literally taking the time to plan the day and plan the week is going to make a world of difference. And if you do these things every single day, you build momentum. And when you stop that momentum, you stop. So one of the things that you've done this, right? We put our hands up one in front of the other, and you move a hand forward and then you stop. And then you're like, okay, that's awkward. And then you move a hand forward and you stop because you want to keep going, right? When the hands start moving, they want to keep moving. And if it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, let's pause for 2 days and have a rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let's pause for 2 days and have a rest. And then it's harder to get back and get up and get going. Whereas if you're in the habit of whatever it is that you're working on, and I know you've got a beautiful accountability group for your health, for your health challenge, and things like health, that's got to be done every day.
Yeah.
You really need to maintain your standards, because is it something you're trying to do, or is this an identity you are embodying and you're just learning some new skills?
I
so
think,
often
definitely for some of the habits, it's like it's something that we want to build. Some maybe just for like 30 days and then a break, but some are definitely like to continue on for.
Yeah. And
so yeah.
And it really does depend on what you're doing and why. However, I think intention is everything, right? You need to know what you're doing and what the purpose is. Is it to get you a kickstart? Is it to Is it just to cleanse your system? Is this like an actual lifestyle change? And I think a lot of times we think that if we do something for a short period of time, that's going to be enough for a reset. However, what part of it are you going to keep doing and take with you? If you've taken 30 days to reset your body or reset your business or to do something, what parts of that habit do you want to take with you? Because there's some really good things that you've practiced doing. So maybe you'll change how you approach it. However, don't go throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's not going to help you. It's not going to serve you.
Yeah, you're right. There's no point doing it for that and then losing the whole thing, because then you're just back to where you were again.
What is it evolving to?
Yeah. So when you are choosing a task then to create a new habit, how specific should it be? So like, for example, like to eat healthier versus like I will eat this amount of veggies every day or something like that. Like how specific does it need to be?
I think, especially when it comes to food and to diet, sometimes your system and your metabolism changes. And I think if you know what your requirements are and what your guidelines are, and you stick to that, that's important. I know for myself, this amount of veggies or more is a better way of putting it instead of going 12 servings. But let's say, what if 12 is so far out of reach? What if you say five servings of vegetables or more per day, right? Make it sustainable. I had a client who was really doing well with her health goal, and then she just fell off the wagon. However, she's like, I can't sustain this rule and this rule and this rule and this rule. It's so much for me to sustain when my friends want to go out for lunch. And I said, well, what if you maintain most of those rules for most of your time, but you literally commit to one rainbow meal a day? If it's colorful, that means it's got a lot of different vegetables. There's going to be fresh vegetables in that meal. And you're going to have, it's going to work out when you have a rainbow meal. My 5-year-old son knows rainbow meals are good for you. Put a lot of colors in your meal. Make sure there are water-based vegetables in there. And you're eating that. You're eating life. And so that's her commitment. I eat one rainbow meal a day. And when you can stick to that and you can make it feasible, it's better to do something that is feasible instead of so far out of reach that you're not going to attain it. Your daily commitments have to be things you're willing to do.
Yeah.
And you can always do more. However, what's the minimum that you're going to do no matter what? Okay, so
I love that actually. Yeah, it's a good point. Sometimes the thing is almost like either too hard, like too big a change to do every day, or it's too broad, like it's just eat healthier, but like what am I actually going to do to get that? So I love that, like choosing a minimum so that even on the days that are like maybe you're busy, maybe you're out, you still have that one thing that you can do. I think that will be really helpful. It's definitely helpful for me for sure.
And that's why, like, one key thing, what's the one key thing you're going to do? What is the one key commitment you're going to make? Because if you have 5, 10, or 20 things that you're trying to change all at once, that's a lot of new information in the midst of work, kids, house. You add yourself in the mix too. That's a lot of things to be juggling and managing. And it's not fair to set yourself up to not succeed, right? Set yourself up for success. This or more. You can do more. However, you've done your minimum, you've met your requirement, and you know that if you do this minimum and do it consistently, it will get you the results you're looking for. If you're in a good mood, do more.
Yeah, that's great. So on that, like, what are your thoughts on willpower to get us through a 30-day challenge or 90-day challenge or anything, any challenge?
Well, ultimately, willpower is not enough. Willpower can get you through like a 30-day challenge or even a 90-day challenge. You can force yourself to do anything. Willpower is really this drive, this need, this energy that is going to compel you to commit. However, if you're looking to make lasting change, so I want to maybe separate it. Willpower can get you through any challenge. However, if you're looking for lasting and permanent change, willpower is such a conscious process. Willpower is something that you're consciously trying to do, and you're forcing onto yourself to a certain extent. And sometimes we need to do that because sometimes changes aren't comfortable, especially when they're new. We like to do things our way. And when they're new, they don't feel good. They aren't as receptive to our natural state, which is how we're used to living. However, if you're looking for long-term sustainable change, willpower can get you going, but you've really got to change your belief system about whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is, that habit that you're looking to create, that identity of who you are, to create that change. Because if you're trying to change a belief system, but your identity doesn't support it, how can you sustain it? Because there's a mismatch. So you want to make sure to change and really start adopting and evolving the identity you hold of yourself. I'm a runner and runners run, not I'm trying to run to lose a few pounds and be healthy for 30 days. There's a difference. I'm a runner and runners run.
Yeah.
I live in a healthy body and I'm at my perfect weight. I'm a healthy person versus I'm trying to do this because I think I should.
Yeah.
You see, like there's such a difference. And when you can say those things with conviction, and when you wholeheartedly believe them, when you start shifting your belief system at not just the conscious level, but at the unconscious level, that really is when magic does happen.
Yeah, I love
Really
that.
is.
My next question was, does taking action daily alone work for long-term change? I think it's probably a similar answer, but I'll ask you anyway, in case you want to add anything else.
Yeah, no, I think it goes back to that belief system, right? It's not, it can last a long time. There are people that have been on diets that have lasted for years. But then one day that chocolate cake comes out and they're just like, oh, this is the cake that my grandma made when I was a kid, just that one piece.
Yeah.
And they go back because a memory pulled them back. And they didn't have the willpower to overcome that one incident. And so it's so important that you literally change your belief system, where you could see that cake years later and you could be like, wow, that smells like the cake my grandma made. I remember these special times. I had such a great time and I'm so blessed to remember this moment. I don't need the cake. I'm just grateful to smell the cake, to be reminded of my grandmother from the cake, because I'm a healthy person. I don't need the cake. I don't even want the cake. I appreciate this opportunity. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it's like, or even like after having the cake, then is that the end then of their thing? Or can you just like do that thing one time and then like keep creating healthy habits?
Yeah, and you unravel a whole slew of things, right? If you're a healthy person and you don't eat cake, but you're a healthy person and there's one time you choose to have a piece of cake, you can choose to have a piece of cake. However, if you choose to have a piece of cake every weekend, is that aligning with your belief system? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You need to know what's right for you. I think so often we get caught up in these rules, but whatever you are committing to, you need to know what your boundaries are and what your commitments are to yourself, and be willing to stick to them. Be okay with them, because when they align with your image of who you are, when they align with your core values, and when they align with the goals and the results that you're trying to get in your life, it's going to be easy. Maybe not every day and every moment will be easy, but overall, it's not going to be a difficult thing, because this is about something bigger than just this one habit that is seemingly difficult to change. You start having fun with it. You start liking it. You start enjoying the accountability process, right? We were talking about accountability. Well, with accountability, you are allowing yourself to succeed. Like, what a gift you give to yourself.
I know. I love the competition in it as well. That's terrible, but I'm like, I'm winning. Like,
you're really good at our contest at Abundance Academy, girl. We send you a lot of books and We've learned how to ship things to New Zealand to you.
I like winning stuff. I do like winning stuff.
You do.
But thank you so much for joining us. I think that'll be so much value. It's added so much value even to me. Affirmations are a big part of my health accountability. That is one part that I am doing for my daily task, because I know that I need to see myself as that healthy person and also love myself where I'm at the same time as well. So if anyone is wanting to work with you, like, do you have something coming up that you would like to share?
Yeah. So one of the things, we're at Abundance Academy, we really firmly believe that you need to be abundant in all aspects. There are 3 core pillars that we look at. We look at health, wealth, relationships, and those are all built on a foundation of mindset, right? If you don't have health, you don't have anything. If you don't have wealth, you can still succeed and have a good life. However, it's a lot easier to make the impact in the world that you really want to make when you can just write a check. So much easier. It's easier to just buy things for your kids and for your family when you have the resources and you don't have to hesitate. And relationships, happiness comes from beautiful relationships and having them cultivated. So one of the things we are doing is we're going to really start diving deep into each of these areas. And the next couple months for the spring, we are hosting a Unstoppable You Master Your Money Mindset Masterclass. And so it's a beautiful opportunity for women who are ready for their next level of success, right? You may be earning great money, but maybe you're not saving it. You may be having challenges earning the next level of income, right? You've hit a glass ceiling and you just can't get to the next step. You've been stuck for a while and you're like, I have the skills. Why isn't it working? Why can't I get to the next level? Or maybe you have guilt, a lot of childhood guilt, hearing mother's voice. Oh, do you really need that? Oh, that's not for you. Just ringing in your ear. So if that is something you're going through, or if you can relate to any of that, then this masterclass is absolutely for you. I would love to invite you to register. I'm not sure if I could pop something in the chat here on this platform. But if you are on my channels, then there's a link in the bio or on my platforms. And I'll make sure that Gemma gets the link so she could post it on her channels as well. Okay, so yeah, I'd definitely love to connect with each and every one of you and invite you. We have our first one tomorrow, and we've got 4 more scheduled over February, March, and April. So we're ready to really revolutionize women's relationship with money and allow them to thrive.
I love that so much, because I actually think back to before I was working with you, Larisa, and I would not, I went through quite a long period where after having kids, I wouldn't spend money on myself. Maybe like a little bit now and then, but yeah, I think the guilty thing like really resonates, and maybe would for a lot of parents.
Well, I remember we were on a call and we had done some work together, and you shared, you're like, wow, I haven't necessarily earned more money this year, but I seem to just have more, and we're going on more holidays. Like there's just always more than enough, right? And I remember that profound statement because we work some magic within your unconscious mind together. And you were able to shift that belief unconsciously, really easily, and without a ton of hardcore, but like you didn't budget. I don't believe in budgeting. I don't think budgeting is effective. Great to know where your money's at, but budgeting is just hard. Like people don't stick to it. And there's more effective ways to really work with money. But when you really understand how to have that aligned and healthy relationship with money, it's like having that healthy and aligned relationship with food, healthy and aligned relationship with relationships. Everything just works so much smoother, and you literally have a life and business you want and you love. When you love yourself, love your business, and love your life, everything's great. Happy mom, happy kids.
Yes.
And that makes the world go round.
Everyone knows that, but I think it's like so hard to actually apply. But I just wanted to thank you again so much for your time. I'll let you go. Yeah, I really appreciate this chat and the value that you've given to all of us. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so glad that I could do this, and I look forward to doing it again because I love chatting with you.
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks, Larisa.